Today we begin the first of 3 Sundays where the Gospel of Mark focuses on Jesus' identity and its implications for his followers and for the church. We hear Jesus question his disciples, "Who do people say that I am?" Their reply, "John the Baptist, others Elijah, still others one of the prophets." And Jesus asked them, "But who do you say that I am?" Peter says to him in reply, "You are the Christ." It's a beautiful testimony. Faithful listeners at Sunday Mass will recall a parallel response from Peter in John's Gospel on the 21st Sunday. "Lord, to whom shall we go? You have the words of eternal life. We have come to believe. You are the Holy One of God." We can commend Peter for his bold statement of faith, but then Jesus begins to explain the implications of being the Christ. He tells the disciples what they certainly did not want to hear. The Son of Man must suffer greatly and be rejected by the elders, the chief priests, and the scribes, and be killed, and rise after 3 days. This reality is prefigured in our first reading today from one of the suffering servant songs of Isaiah. His path must be through suffering to come to resurrection. Peter's bold moment of faith is brief as he takes Jesus aside and rebukes him. Could Peter be thinking what following this new kind of Messiah might mean for himself? Jesus gives one of the sternest comebacks in the Gospels. "Get behind me, Satan. You are thinking not as God does, but as human beings do." And then he spells out for both his disciples and the crowd with them that discipleship means self-denial and carrying the cross. A rabbi friend of mine tells me that in the Jewish tradition, the Satan or Satan is like a courtroom prosecutor. It can also be that voice inside that defends our ego self against letting go of selfish inclinations and tendencies. To embrace the teaching of Jesus today, we must lose our life, the ego-driven resistance to loving service. We must put others first, as we've heard in our second reading from James these weeks, and allow Jesus' true identity to be our focus. Whoever loses his life for my sake and that of the gospel will save it.